mathematicians. Today we are going to continue to solve one-step equations. This time it is going to involve multiplication and division. Okay? So solving one-step equations like we have been doing. To undo multiplication, what's the opposite of multiply? We will divide. So if it is a multiplication we must get rid of it by division. To undo a divide, undo division, what must you do? Multiply. So if you're given a division equation, to get rid of the division, you must multiply. We need to keep in mind this that we did last section. What you do to one side, you must do to the other. We must keep those equations balanced. So if we divide by 5 on one side, I must divide by 5 on the other. Okay. So let's take a look at a few examples. Again, I want to keep this balanced. That equation is that middle piece, so that's where we're going to keep our balance at. I'm going to find my variable, c. Many people think this is a -4, so they want to add 4 to both sides. But what is hiding in between the -4 and c? A times sign. Okay, there's a secret times in there. So be very careful on problems like this. You don't want to add 4 to both sides. You want to actually undo multiplication. And to undo a multiply, we will divide. To get rid of a times -4, divide by -4. You have to make sure that you are dividing by a -4, not just a 4. What I do on one side, must do to the other. These cancel. -4 divided by -4 is just 1. The signs don't match. That's a -7. Again, we need to check our answer by plugging in what we got for c into the original equation. So this is -4 times c, and instead of c we got -7. We want to know, does that equal 28? So I take my c and I plug it back into the original equation. Negative times a negative is a positive 28. So I know we got that correct. Try this next one on your own. Let's see how you did. Here's my variable. What is with the variable? A secret times and a 6. How did you get rid of a times 6? Divide by 6. And what I do on one side, must do to the other. 6 over 6 cancels. 30 divided by 6 is 5. What did you do next? Exactly. Check your answer off to the side. 30 equals 6 times x, and instead of x, we will use 5. 6 times 5 is, does 30 equal 30? Yes. To get rid of that times 6, divide by 6. What you do to one side, you must do the other. Plug in and check. Now, what if we have a division in our equation? Okay. Again, I want to balance. Here's my variable y. What's attached to y? A divide by -6. How do you get rid of a divide by -6? Remember, a fraction bar is a division. How do you get rid of a divide by -6? Times by -6. And what I do on one side, must do to the other. Negative times a negative, the signs match. That's a good thing, or a positive. 2 times 6, 12. So to get rid of a divide, you must multiply both sides. Go ahead and check our answer. Y is now 12 divided by negative 6. So I take my 12, plug it back in for y. 12 divided by negative 6, does that equal negative 2? The signs don't match. It's a bad thing. Does negative 2 equal negative 2? Yes. Go ahead and solve this next one on your own. Let's see how you did. Here's our balance. There's my variable. What did you want to get rid of? A divide by 8. How do you get rid of a divide by 8? Times by 8. What you do on one side, must do to the other. What happens here? Cancel. The signs don't match. That's a bad thing. 8 times 6 is 48. What did you do next? Plug in your m and check. Okay. So to get rid of divide, you will multiply both sides. Let's take a look at this last one. Serena went to the post office with $6. So altogether, her total equals 6. If each stamp is 25 cents, how many can she buy? Okay. Is she buying one or multiple? Multiple. So I have 25 cents multiple times. So what am I going to do? Times. Do I know how many she buys? No. So I'll put stamps. Multiple stamps. So I'm multiplying the number of stamps by the cost. And altogether that has to equal 6 because Serena doesn't have any more money. So if she's buying multiple stamps, we're going to multiply the stamps by the cost. What's with our variable that we need to get rid of? Times 20.25 or 25 cents. How do you get rid of a times? Divide. And what are you going to divide both sides by? 25 cents. Now, I want you to think. $1 contains how many quarters? 4. So $6 contains how many quarters? $1 contains 4. How many quarters go into $6? 24. I know 4 quarters make up $1 times by 6, and I get 24 stamps Serena can buy. Okay. Set up your equation. I need to see the equation, please, and then solve. Nice job today, mathematicians.